I'd like to focus a lot on the subconscious appreciation of design. I put myself in the shoes of my client and I try to internalize what else is there beyond what you can verbalize. And that's sort of the realm that I try to break through. I'm Jorge Yulo from Jorge Yulo Architects and Associates, and this is the Equilateral House. I shifted the grid when I designed the Equilateral House so that it would be on a 60-degree grid instead of on a 90-degree grid. But the forms remain rectilinear. So when you move from one space to the other, you don't get the usual right angles, and it makes you feel like you're walking into a product of nature or like a forest.
This house has a very strong and unique personality. You feel it the moment you step into the driveway. As you approach, it seems to be moving.
Whatever it is, whatever sense it is that tells you you are alive, this house makes you feel it.
I'm Periquet. I'm a designer of spaces and also a visual artist.
I'm Judith Torres, former editor of Blueprint and editor-at-large of Canto.ph.
The different angles of the facade appear to be dynamic. It's not just sitting there waiting to receive you. It's engaging with you from the moment you move toward it. And then as you cross the little pathway that connects you from the driveway to the front door, you become aware through a fold. You're seeing a glimpse of the pool on one side. And across on the opposite side, you see these rocks that seem to have been washed there by the water. It gives you the sense of being in a clearing. So there's a sense of unfolding, of encountering things that you might find as you're on a walk. I feel that the house gives you not a typical experience of becoming calmed and makes you more aware.
Like Tina said, you become aware. For me, what makes Equilateral House beautiful is what you feel when you're walking in it. It makes you aware of being alive, however it is that you know you are alive, whether it's through your sight, sound, And no kidding, a lot of people like to say, ooh, touch, yeah. Pero hindi eh. This house is so haptic. There's so many surfaces, different kinds of surfaces. And smells pa nga. George was very intentional about planting certain trees or bushes because nga of the scent that would waft in kapag amihan and would waft the other direction when it's another season of the year.
I tried to use materials that were neutral. I didn't use too much paint, hardly any. Mostly products that would preserve natural color of the materials that I use. The reason I wanted to use colors that were a little subdued is that so whatever pieces or whoever person walks into the house would be the feature instead of the house itself.
This house is not just the background. In fact, it's not just a conversation piece. It joins the conversation. It is part of the dialogue. A lot of designers aim for clarity. They aim for simplicity. They want to simplify your life. They don't want you to have to think. When you step into your home, you want to be able to let loose and not think. But this is not that house. In this house, there's a deliberate sense of ambiguity, as if things might not be what you expected, or they might have a deeper meaning if you look hard enough. You'll just uncover something else. There are layers, so it's complex. Looking even just at the kitchen door, you're seeing it right here, and how it appears to be recessing. In fact, if you half close your eyes, it looks like a doorway. Look, see how it appears to be a passage that narrows,
like a
and you're
corridor.
walking through it to that void. And, so things are not what they seem.
Because he also did not design this in 1, 2, 3, 4 sittings. For example, these huge, massive planks of wood. He knew them decades ago. He knew each piece, and in his mind might have assigned, this is going to this gorgeous corridor I'm going to make.
the collection of noble materials,
Yeah.
metals, woods.
Noble and not so noble too. He's so good at juxtaposing something, di ba, inexpensive with something,
Right.
right?
You have live edges on one side and then crisp smooth on the other, and that kind of pairing gives you a sense of man dominating nature and yet harmonizing with it at the same time.
Because nga he's so mindful of nature. He does all sorts of things to make you forget that he's brilliant. That's why it's easy to think he's not. But I really think he's a genio.
George is not all he appears to be, but he allows glimpses. This is not a house for everyone. Young architects need to learn that it's only when you dare to express something real, which means abandoning what you're told or taught when it comes to expression, that you can emerge with something significant, something that is not already said.
I wanted to go beyond design, beyond what people are looking for. I also designed this house during COVID, when I had an opportunity, or lots of opportunities, to stare at walls, get bored. And I thought that when you design something, you create a void. You create a world which opens up.
Do you have a design that you would like to share with Design Will Save the World? If so, email us at designwillsavetheworldchannel@gmail.com.